Hi guys, back with another video. Finally, first long form video in a long time. But the other day, Apple had an event, a very jam-packed event, like they do every September, where they release new iPhones, new Apple Watches, and occasionally new AirPods as well. So that's what this video is all about. We're going to have the full recap of the event and talk about everything that was announced. So let's get straight into it, starting off with the AirPods Pro 3. To start off, they're going to fit better in your ears because there's now 5 different sizes instead of 3. And they're now foam infused for extra comfort and extra fit in your ears. And it will also help to ensure that they don't fall out. On top of that, they can now translate audio in real time when you wear them in your ears. They can pick up people talking in different languages and translate them into your language, which is what you will hear from the AirPods. Bear in mind, this feature will also be enabled with AirPods Pro 2 and AirPods 4 as part of iOS 26 and a new AirPods firmware update. You got to make sure your iPhone is compatible with Apple Intelligence, though, to experience this feature. On top of that, we also get an extra 2 hours of battery life on the AirPods Pro 3. So up from 6 to 8 hours. So pretty decent product overall. Now let's talk about Apple Watch. They started off with the Apple Watch Series 11, which isn't a whole lot different over the Series 10, but there are a few notable changes. First off, the display is now twice as scratch resistant with a new IONX glass. Along with that, the battery life is once again also better, up from 18 to 24 hours. You also get hypertension alerts and a sleep score. Now, the hypertension alerts, again, will also be compatible with older Apple Watches, the Series 10, and the Ultra 2 will also get it, and even the Series 9. But the thing to note about these hypertension alerts is, yeah, it's in the name. They're only alerts. You can't basically sit there and test for hypertension yourself. You can't. There's no manual blood pressure monitor built into the new Apple Watch. It's basically an automatic sensor built in. It uses sensors that have already been in the Apple Watch for years, particularly with your heart. And it can detect signs of hypertension, aka high blood pressure. Now, when it comes to the sleep score, which I think is probably the best new feature announced for Apple Watch, it's pretty self-explanatory. Third-party manufacturers and apps and etc. have had this for a while, but when you go to bed and you wake up in the morning, you open up the sleep app on your Apple Watch or the health app on your iPhone, and you can see a numerical value that shows the quality of your sleep out of 100. The higher that value, the better you slept. That is also compatible with all the Apple Watches. On top of that, the 24 hours battery life, like I mentioned, and then you also get additional battery life, of course, with low power mode enabled. Apart from that, though, not a whole lot new with Series 11. Now, the exact same can be said about the new Apple Watch Ultra 3. Hypertension alerts, sleep score, extended battery life. The only other notable change from the Ultra 3 is that it does get the more current design that we saw last year with the Series 10, which has carried over to the 11 and the Ultra 3. Except the display is slightly larger on the Ultra 3. Now, last but not least, for the Apple Watch lineup, we also got the SE3. A lot of threes in this event. The Apple Watch SE3, which does get most notably a chip upgrade from, I believe, the S8 chip to the S10. So that pretty much covers it up for the Apple Watch lineup. Now, here's the real meat and potatoes of the event, the new iPhones. Now, before I talk about them all individually, something you should know about all these iPhones is that they all get a new front-facing camera, 18 megapixels, and it also features center stage for improved selfies. The new iPhone models also get the C1X modem. Now, if you know about the iPhone 16e, released at the start of this year, 2025, you'll know it had the C1 modem. Well, this is an custom Apple designed modem, which is a lot more power efficient than third-party modems like Qualcomm. And now with this C1X, it is twice as fast as C1, which means, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. The iPhone 17 lineup will give you better mobile signal performance. On top of that, all the new models also feature the N1 chip, which is once again another custom Apple designed chip. This one specializes in networking, so Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, AirDrop, all that kind of thing. It does claim to offer faster Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 6, and wireless AirDrop transfer speeds, which of course is a win-win because it's faster and more efficient than the Wi-Fi chips in the iPhone 16 series and below. Okay, now let's talk about the iPhones individually. Starting off with the base model iPhone 17, the display size has been increased from 6.1 inches to 6.3 inches. We now also get 128Hz ProMotion and an always-on display on the base model 17. On top of that, it does feature the A19 chip, which is a small upgrade over the A18, but still something to note, as you should get, on paper, more longevity when it comes to software support. And the 17 Pro and Pro Max iPhones have switched back from titanium to aluminium. Now, this will be mostly due to the heat dissipation. Aluminium is a lot better at dissipating heat, which does mean the thermal performance of the 17 Pro and Pro Max will be substantially better than, in particular, the 15 and 16 Pro, because titanium is not a very good at dissipating heat. Along with the switch to aluminium, the 17 Pro also features a vapor chamber to help with thermal performance, giving the iPhone 17 Pro 40% better sustained performance than the 16 Pro. It also features the A19 Pro chip, which is again faster and more efficient than the A18 Pro, and it has one extra GPU core. Now, speaking of the GPU, each GPU core now also has AI accelerators built in to give AI compute performance a huge boost. And then when it comes to battery life, the 17 Pro now gets 33 hours of video playback, which is the same as the 16 Pro Max. And the 17 Pro Max, get this, 39 hours of video playback, the most in an iPhone. Now, this next one, I'm kind of surprised Apple didn't do this like I'm about to, because obviously I've only talked about 3 of the iPhones, which means there is one more thing. Get it? Okay. Introducing the newest member of the iPhone family, the iPhone Air. Now, the rumors did suggest it be called the 17 Air, but no, it's just iPhone Air, which leads me to believe either soon they will drop the number entirely across the whole lineup, or the iPhone Air might not be a yearly refresh. So, what's new with the iPhone Air then? Well, it's 5.6 millimeters thin. It has a 6.5-inch display. And for the rigidity, because obviously with it being the thinnest iPhone ever, the most common concern will be the bending. Sure, we all can't wait for Jerry Rig to get his hands on that. But Apple has basically acknowledged this by making the frame titanium, which definitely improves strength and rigidity. Now, the main concern is heat dissipation, because obviously the 17 Pro, like I mentioned before, changed from titanium back to aluminium, and this new thin and light Air has a titanium frame, which, yeah, might be better for strength, but when it comes to heat dissipation, I don't know. It also seems like heat dissipation is a concern even to them, because although it does feature the A19 Pro chip, there is one less GPU core on the iPhone Air than the Pro, which could also arguably be to differentiate it from the Pro a bit more. But being so thin, the iPhone Air does have its compromises. For one, the iPhone Air only has one speaker. There's no bottom speaker to the top. Also, one camera on the back. Yeah, just the wide angle lens. And then the last main concern, which Apple did address in the event, but still might be a concern for some, is battery life. Now, the iPhone Air does use a special high density battery, which claims to deliver the same battery life as the 16 Pro, but obviously being so thin, we'll see how true that is. But to compensate for that, there is a new MagSafe battery accessory for the iPhone Air. But to be honest, if you're getting the iPhone Air and the MagSafe battery, which costs 100 quid, like, why? Because then you're pretty much making the device as thick as a 17 Pro, which does have the extra battery life and extra features. So if you're doing that, you might as well get the 17 Pro. Unless you just really don't care about the new 8x optical zoom on the telephoto lens on the 17 Pro, which you are missing out on the iPhone Air. Now, when it comes to prices, the base model iPhone 17 starts at 799 quid at 256 gigabytes of storage. No 128 anymore. The 17 Air is a grand, and the 17 Pro is 1100 quid. but again, starting at 256 gigs, which is the same price as last year's 16 Pro with 256. Now, the 17 Pro Max still starts at 1200 or 1199. And now there is also a new 2 TB configuration on the 17 Pro Max, which, if you do get it fully spec'd out, you're looking at a $2,000 iPhone, which I think leads us nicely. That and the iPhone Air to next year's rumoured folding iPhone, which is rumoured to have a £2,000 price. So I think the spec'd out Pro Max does set us up nicely for that, along with the thin and light form factor of the iPhone Air. When it comes to accessories, this year Apple are going with a new crossbody strap, like a lanyard, if you want to wear your new iPhone. There was also a bumper case for the iPhone Air. Anyone remember those? iPhone 4 and 10 gig. But that pretty much covers it up. Those are the new products announced at the Apple event this week. They're all available for pre-order right now, and they will start shipping on September the 19th. But there are still quite a few more products in the works for 2025, which does lead me to believe this event that we had this week won't be the last one we see this year, because we're still waiting on new Macs with the M5 chip, a new iPad Pro with the M5 chip, second generation AirTags. Apple Vision Pro is supposed to be getting a refresh with the M5 chip. A new Apple TV 4K with the A17 Pro chip. And a new HomePod Mini with the S9 chip. All of those products I've just mentioned are supposedly coming at the end of 2025, if not at the latest early 2026. So you're pretty much up to date now. I hope this video was of some use to you at least. And drop a like if you liked it. Drop a dislike if you didn't. And subscribe. Peace.